Well, this is where it all started. Yes, everybody, it is finally time. We are deciding to introduce smartphones into the mix, which, while is a very controversial decision in a channel like mine, is still very necessary to pinpoint the very mission that we have here at Retro Landline, and that is, where did it all start? And for a lot of people, they would point out this phone. See, this right here is the BlackBerry 8830. And for a lot of people, this was what they were using basically during work. And it goes with no surprise here. Welcome to the Sprint Showcase video review. And we're going to take a look at this particular device because it's definitely a very controversial one. The fact that it definitely brought a lot more people to look at their phones a lot more. Yes, it was for productivity purposes initially, but over time, as we start getting into these guys, it started to get out of hand. So, what was this phone like to use back in the day? And what was the cultural significance behind it? We are going to find out right now. Alrighty, like all of our other videos we got going on here, we're going to give this one a fire up. The power button will cooperate. There we go. Now, the cool thing that I might just have been the quickest boot up ever. Well, would you look at that? And yes, folks, as you had seen with my initial retro repair video, which watch it in the top right hand corner right there, it honestly was a shocker how easy it was to repair this kind of phone. But now here we are at the home screen, and from first glance it really doesn't look like there's a whole lot. You do got basically your call function, or this actually is a setup wizard, which for a lot of companies that were using these sorts of phones back in the day, they needed to go through the setup process to make sure that their company networks were able to operate with these sorts of devices. So we got our messages right here. We will take a look at that in a second. Got our call log. I don't know why those screens are not showing up. There we go. Got the BBM, which for a lot of people was actually their introduction into instant messaging and popularized it in a lot of ways. You got your calendar right here, and then your applications button, which you could also access by clicking this little button right here. Like so. But what does the outside of this phone look like? Well, I'll show you. So on the front right here, got a very small 2.5-inch screen here, which if you're repairing phones like this, by the way, really easy to just like grab like a secondary one off of eBay, because a lot of the BlackBerries still had this exact same screen size. I can point to the Curve 8300, I can point to the Pearl 8110. Like, there were so many different BlackBerries back in the day that had the same screen size, which meant that like repairing these like sorts of phones was relatively easy to do. And funny enough, this basically came out so this was April of 2007. So April, May, June, a full 3 months before the iPhone blew everything up. No joke, folks. This came out right on the cusp. So, enough with me rambling over here, obviously. But here we are. So for the front side of the phone, got a full keyboard, which was very useful in a lot of instances. We were messaging back and forth between different emails and making different texting and clients and all the business stuff that we're all used to. And right over here, you got your usual call and end buttons, you got your back button, the BlackBerry logo, as I said before, which accesses your applications drop-down menu. Then you get a cool little trackball, which, I don't know about you guys, but when my dad had a BlackBerry like this back in the day, I used to play around with that thing so much. It just is so satisfying to use, and I really wish like phones nowadays can use that sort of technology again. On the top right over here, you got a mute button right here on this side, and then you also got a power button. On this side, you got volume rocker, literally nothing else but the volume rocker, which, you know, props to BlackBerry. You gotta keep it simple. You gotta make sure that you only have the essential stuff usable. And then right over here, you got this weird little textured button, which I think is supposed to use like an action command or something. You get a mini USB, not micro USB, unfortunately, so we're a step behind from even like messaging phones that came out like a lot later. You got a 3.5mm headphone jack, and yeah, also, where's the camera? Apparently, some Blackberries, especially the 8830, and it's also called the 8830 World Edition in some instances, apparently this phone never shipped with a camera. Why exactly? Well, there was good reason. Not a lot of people needed a camera for these kinds of phones. This was mainly used as a PDA device. So if you're just doing like business related endeavors, why the heck would you need a camera? So BlackBerry stuck to their audience in that instance, and you know, you got to give nothing but props for just being able to showcase that. But that's enough about the overall physical features, historical significance, like all those other sorts of stuff. What's the phone got inside? Alrighty everybody, let's just boot this phone back up here, and let's take a look at some of these applications that you got. And who knows, maybe we'll actually be able to make different segments into the carrier videos that you've never seen before, just because of the fact this is a smartphone. Alright, so going down like each particular application, we got Setup Wizard, which basically, as we said before, basically helps like set up like the phone for, you know, enterprise purposes. Messages. Let's go see how the keyboard looks when you're typing this out. Alright. Now, the other thing too, the way that BlackBerry has their messaging UI set up, it basically reads almost like you were on like an old school computer, if you will. So you could start off at the top, though they even give like a from, like basically they give like a, what is called a CC or BCC, like address and stuff, and then you could just scroll down using the trackball. And let me tell you, this feels satisfying. So just go down to whatever point you want, and if you hit this button right here, this is basically your sort of like right click, if you will. In any application, this button will have a purpose. So you could be able to select, you can mark on opened, you can save it, you can delete it. We're gonna just delete this because honestly, we really have no use for the Setup Wizard anymore. So then that brings us back out of here. Alright, you got your call log, very essential. Your BlackBerry Messenger, which if we click on that, oh, okay, so you have to enter your name basically as you want others to see it, so we're just gonna do, and this will test out the keyboard too, so why not? Alright. Add a contact from menu, and there you go. So that basically is like how the keyboard feels, and honestly, this is where BlackBerry shined the most. Compared to a lot of the other messaging phones that I had reviewed on the channel, Gravity TXT, I will put that video up there for you guys. I honestly think that this is like the most well-built out of like all the keyboards that any phone manufacturer's made. They got really good spacing, they're actually textured enough so you could actually be able to feel them out with your thumb really easily. And like the way that it clicks is like very satisfying too. So we're gonna back out of that for now. Now let's see what else they got. You got a calendar, of course, every phone's got a calendar. Address book. Got your alarms. Memo pad. I think memo pad's also... Oh no. You kidding me? This thing is also basic too, just like the Gravity. Aww. Where is the fun UI design in smartphones? Why did Apple have to do it? Why didn't BlackBerry take it up? Oh, that disappoints me so much. Okay, well, we also got our task menu, sound profiles if we wanted to, you know, highlight notifications that we would get, voice notes recorder, so you could actually be able to record voices on your phone. Like, granted, a lot of the messaging phones that I reviewed already do that, but to have this, a phone that came out in 2007 with that, I mean, that's pretty cool. So, you know, no complaints on that one. We got media, so unfortunately, there was a little bit of hiccups when I did first purchase this phone. Not only was the fact that I was unable to see the screen for a little bit of time, unfortunately too, it seems like the micro SD card that I took from the Samsung Instinct, which another video you can check out right there, unfortunately did not work with this phone. Likely due to the fact that it's, you know, a slightly newer device, so a lot of the data that was on there is also going to be a little bit newer and unrecognizable to say the least. But this does have a micro SD slot. Now how much storage you can fit on there, it's besides the point. We have no idea exactly, but there's your media right there. Got voice dialing. We do have a game, folks. Brick Breaker. Now, for all you old school BlackBerry heads out there, this was so cool to have for you. So we're gonna type in a username, or just start a new game. And this is what it looked like. A lot of you guys who own BlackBerries probably know what this looks like, but man, with the trackball, it makes a world of a difference. Let's see if we could at least beat the first level. Oh, come on. Come on, you little ball. Get up there. Get up there. It's always like down to the last one that it gets like really tough. And there you go. So right off the bat, like, this phone has a lot of uniqueness to it. And we're not even like done like showing like all of these like apps. A calculator, a password keeper. You actually had built-in password management on like a phone like this. It's crazy. No one would have ever suspected that to be possible. You got the help on there, you got the search right there, keyboard lock, so if you ever needed to like lock the keyboard by any chance and just have it delegated to the number pad, you were able to do so with that quick toggle. You also got managing your connections. Let's see if we can get on the Wi-Fi. We can't. That's right, because cell towers with CDMA like this don't exist. This is why we need to bring back old cell phone technologies, honestly. We got a built-in Twitter application, so even before like Apple's iPhone came out, there was still social media integration. So the early signs were already being shown on like these kind of devices of like, hey, we're peddling social media to the masses. You know, like stuff like that. It's really crazy to think about. You got Documents to Go. This is basically like your document manager for, you know, business clients and, you know, certain other APIs. You could set up Bluetooth and turn the power off. So honestly, really interesting how this phone is and all the features that are used to kind of shape it into what it's supposed to be. But with every single one of these kinds of videos, unfortunately, this particular one's going to have some drawbacks that we're going to mention about right now. Alrighty, y'all. Final thoughts on the BlackBerry 8830. This truly was the catalyst of all catalysts. And I know I don't like to talk like negatively so much about like phones on this channel, but this truly was like the beginning of the end when it comes to smartphone addiction. Because of the fact that, hey, it had good intentions starting out. This was mainly meant to help like companies get a productivity boost, make sure that everyone is like, you know, making sure everybody's getting work done and stuff like that. It had good intentions. It just started to get misused, especially when the first iPhone came out. So the only other downside too is like a lot of the you know, functions that I wanted to showcase to you guys, they're no longer working anymore. They're on older clients, or the other thing too, there is no mobile infrastructure, of course. This is actually a 2G phone, believe it or not, so if you can think about it. With that being said, however, that's the end of this video. Be sure to give a like. This took a long time coming to make this video possible, and I'm glad that the repair actually is starting to get some traction too, so if you guys do want to see more of that, give a like on that one too. Do subscribe to the channel. We're growing slowly but surely, and I do appreciate all the support that I've been getting so far. And bet you I will be coming at it with a couple other different phones to review. And I definitely want to get some more Android phones on here, especially like the older versions of Android, because I think that was a truly special thing. Likewise, follow me on Bluesky, follow me on X. I'll have those linked in the description down below. And with that being said, it's your boy Richard Landline calling you back from the past, and peace out.